So,
Yeah.
but that's a traditional thing because at the same time, you gotta have a poly situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I actually am a super supporter of poly
I'm
situation.
supportive of poly too because I really like their communication dynamics and how open they are, and I feel like monogamous relationships could at least take that in more,
Right,
especially that part.
right.
Yeah.
That yes, I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what's the goal?
Yeah.
Because if you're just trying to fuck on something, you know what I'm saying? We don't even be talking about no poly. Because that means you gon'
You just using poly to fuck on people.
that means your magnet can be attracted to any, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have that means you don't have a vetting process to me. Because if it's based off of lust and attraction, that's enough to get in your pants, sir. That's enough.
Mm.
It's a lot. I got a lot of pretty friends. Damn, we don't have a problem. You know
have
what I'm saying?
Have you ever dealt with somebody like that, and was it for longer than what you have would have wanted it to be?
um, I have.
That's okay.
I've dealt with somebody, and I had a poly situation. It was okay
Okay.
until I think, I'm a believer in rank,
Got you.
like you don't get to give somebody that just came around a month ago the same privilege and access as somebody that been there for years. That's when you gonna have a problem.
Whew.
You
And
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
hey everybody, it's your girl DJ with Plan for Keeps podcast, and today I have Kiwii. She is a songwriter, singer, author, and actress. Today she is here for Dating Chronicles, where you give a funny, crazy, or lesson learned dating story. But before we dive into all of that, I love to learn about all of my guests. And with you having all of these titles by your name, I would love to hear more about you and your journey here.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm an East Coast girl, and I was originally born in Virginia, moved to Jersey as a toddler, and then when I was 15, ended up in Florida, Kissimmee, Florida. Then went to FAMU, you know what I'm saying? And then came to Atlanta. So, I've just been moving around, been doing music for forever. It feels
Forever.
like, yeah.
So when did you first get started?
I'll probably say my first performance, I was about 5.
5.
I was 5. I did the Black National Anthem.
Oh wow. How was that for you?
It was awesome. Apparently, from
Remembering.
what I've heard, you don't even remember. I
Remembering.
remember my grandpa picking me up, my great grandpa picking me up off the stage, and I remember the standing ovation.
Wow.
And I was like, maybe it was just because I was 5. You know what I'm saying? But apparently, people were still talking about it. I said,
That's
no.
dope.
Yeah, like people still talk to my grandma, like, yeah, your granddaughter still thinks she was thinking so good at the retirement party. I said, okay, that's interesting. Years later.
So you think you caught a bug from there?
I didn't. I asked my mom. I was like, how did y'all know I could sing?
Yeah.
Like, who just picks? Like, that's not an easy song.
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like for a 5-year-old, apparently, somehow she was like, I don't know, and I'm like, okay, so y'all just picked me and was like, go up there. Like I had other cousins. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but they knew.
Got you. Okay. So you started singing at 5.
hmm
You say you're an East Coast girl. So when did you move to Atlanta and then kind of just started your career?
mm, After I graduated college, I
Okay.
started recording at
Okay.
FAMU. So, working with Glenn Jr. Shout out to Glenn Jr. And he pretty much just put me on to the recording process,
Okay.
right? So from there, I fell in love with it. I was already kind of writing on my own, but it ended up being like like a real thing for me. That was feasible when I was in Florida.
Got you.
then when I moved up here for that specific purpose, I moved up to Atlanta for that purpose because I wanted to be around people that were making music. Not that they weren't making music in Florida, but you know, at the time, Atlanta was popping. I mean, it's still popping.
Atlanta's like the mecca for everything,
right.
though.
So it was like, you know, this is where I need to be. You know, I feel like when you're an actor, most people be like, oh, I need to go to LA. Mm-hmm. When you want to do music, this is where you come, you know, so that's where I've learned most of my things. So
got you. Okay, so you out here. You say you're also an actress. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about that.
So the acting, I kind of slid into that through music.
Okay.
My homegirl, Mac Breezy, shout out to Breezy, you understand, the candy lady. she was going to a church and they were looking for, she was a member of the church, and they were looking for songs for a play.
Okay.
And I had a song called It's Yours. And I let them hear it. I went, and somehow, I guess miscommunication happened, but it was like, okay, so here's your lines. Oh, all right. Bet. Knock it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One more thing on my list. So that's how that happened initially. And then from there, you know, whatever opportunities that come up and about, I'm available, you know.
Got you.
So
so that's dope. That's dope. And then you are an author.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't bring it. Oh my gosh. So it's called The Ride of Your Life.
Okay.
And I wrote it during the pandemic. Actually, yeah, I wrote it before the pandemic, but I released it during the pandemic.
Okay.
I wrote it when I was at work.
Really?
Right. I was like, I'm going to give y'all 20 minutes. This other 40 are mine. So I wrote it and ended up, so like I said, I'm not from here. Mm-hmm. So the highways are different. Like in Jersey, it's exits by number. Like you go straight, you miss the exit, and then, you know, get off, go to the next one, turn around. Mm-hmm. In Atlanta, you miss the exit, you got to change plans for the day. Like that's it. Oh, we were doing that, but we done missed, you know, the flash shows exit. So now we're going somewhere completely different.
That's definitely like that when you miss the flat shows exit in Atlanta.
I just happened to mention that one, but definitely that one.
Definitely that one. Oh my God.
So, you know, you might be in a state. I done ended up in Alabama by mistake. So, you know, it happens. I wasn't driving, but you know, still. So, okay, so but yeah, I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry.
The right, yeah.
The right. I was thinking about that Alabama trip. That was so.
Yeah,
funny.
And that's what the book is about, right?
So no, the book is about. It's called The Ride of Your Life, and it is about how relating to like a social way of explaining that people drive how they live.
Gotcha.
For instance,
okay,
you drive reckless. Bet you don't live straight and narrow. Bet you a little, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. A little swervy, little swag, swervy life. And if you're very cautious as a driver, I bet you're quite cautious in life, you know what I'm saying, as a person. Yeah. So, if you have no regard for others, when you switch your lanes without your blinker, I'm talking to you. When y'all do that, it shows a disregard for other people on the road. And I'm sure you do that in life. Because what you want is most important. You're the only one that's on the road, right?
Yeah.
Of course not true.
Yeah,
but
not
you
true. But
you may actually behave and think like that in life. And I think it's very indicative of how people operate. Also, it deals with destination. So everyone has a destination. So that's why the road of life, right? Yeah. Your destination can change, but you could literally be driving on this road of life without a destination.
That's true,
you
too.
You could be missing your exit because you never chose.
Right.
You never decided where you wanted to be, where you want to go. Like, you know what? This is what... And it can change. But if you don't have an initial destination, even if you use a GPS, general practical senses, right, you're going to miss your exit. You're going to miss turns. You're going to waste gas, energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I have a point in there where it says, you know... is your attire pressure? Play on words. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah.
You're an artist for real.
Yeah, I'm a rap writer, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, and it's a self workbook. So I had two versions of it. The first one was more like novel, table read,
Yeah.
you know, just kind of like you could read it in a day. The new version, the second volume that I released, that's also available.
Is it also on Amazon? Because I know I saw the book,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't see the workbook. But that's also on Amazon.
It's now the workbook. It's the same title, but it's the workbook now.
Got
So
you.
it's not just the. I had both copies. I just forgot to bring them.
Okay.
But one copy, the original was novel or table read.
Okay.
Second one is workbook, interactive. You're writing down your goals. What do you know? What are you trying to do? Specify where you want to go, and then map it out. Let's map out your trip.
That sounds really dope. I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to do like an audio book version and like a digital version. I mean, they have it like, you know, you can listen to it like Kindle and stuff. But I want to do like an interactive, maybe video or something. I don't know. I'm still kind of playing with those ideas because I got a lot of other stuff going on.
Got you.
That's still in the mix.
So what motivated that book? Was it the story that you were telling us about how y'all ended up in Alabama?
I had a 40-minute commute to work, and I was pissed off by the time I got to work. And that's how it came about. Because when I get mad, I don't just get mad. I be trying to figure out how do we get here? What is the problem? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I said, well, people drive how they live.
And you came up.
It just went from there. But I'm gonna be honest. I gotta give praise to God because it wasn't me.
Yeah.
But that's how it started.
Yo, that's
I was
dope.
mad. I was mad at first, but then it just came into something that I just genuinely enjoyed, and I got deeper into. And I was just like, you know what? This might be helpful. So I started letting people just read the written copy.
Yeah.
And it was great. So as a matter of fact, somebody stole my written copy.
Really?
Out my car, along with my hard drive. Right. So just be careful. They out here stealing ideas, y'all. But I've already published it, so it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, y'all really stealing ideas?
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Is that the only thing they took, or
They
just
took my insurance card for my car too. I don't know what they was gonna do with that.
These people are so weird out here, man. Oh my God.
It was so funny. I was like, bro.
I don't know if they were thinking they were gonna get information. You know, it's a whole bunch of scammers out here too.
Yeah.
They probably thought they were gonna be able to sell your information to the black market.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, let's switch gears. So you are here for Dating Chronicles, where you give a funny, crazy, or lesson learned dating story. What do you have for us today?
Before I get into my story, I just want to say this. I think all of the banter sometimes is kind of BS because if you're truly looking for a partner in me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like your life partner versus someone to F on, which I never heard that term till I moved to Georgia.
Really?
No, because what do you mean? We're either getting to know each other, you're either friends, talking, getting to know each other about to date, we're actually dating, we're engaged, or we're married. That's it. That's all I knew.
So you ain't never heard of the term, and you curse on here, you ain't never heard of the term of anybody's just fucking on?
No, the reason that I heard it is because that means that you have no intention of this going any further. I've never dealt with that. Like, that's crazy to me. So you sitting here, you want to be like, this is all we doing, this is the goal, and this is it. We just fucking on each other.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I appreciate the dudes who do be up front because then it give me the choice. Like,
oh, yeah. No, I appreciate it, but that's where I heard the term.
Got you.
Because I was like, whoa, what do you mean? And I was like, okay, that's different for me.
Got you.
Because I'm only known 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not really much in between. You will be fucking on during the process likely,
yeah.
Maybe 3 and up. You know what I'm saying? But like, other than that, you could do that with anybody.
That's
like
true.
That's my thing. Like, you could literally fuck on anybody. You'll be attracted if you are like, you got eyes and you attract to black people, especially,
Yeah.
if that's your criteria, just attraction alone, you'll be fucking on forever.
That's a fact.
Like, is that the goal? That's what we're doing? We just spilling energy? I'm a big believer in energy exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you deal with somebody, you can take on their traits.
You definitely can.
I think in one instance, I took on anxiety. I never had anxiety. Don't be scared.
Oh,
I ain't scared.
you have to tell me more about your thoughts around that. Do you have?
I was just dating somebody that had. I didn't know they had anxiety until they told me that they had anxiety. I didn't even understand what the heck that was. I'm from Jersey.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Don't nobody in Jersey have anxiety?
Of course they do, but it looks different because it looks like stress. Anxiety, it is stress. It looks like It looks more hyper. It's more aggressive, especially in women. Versus in a man, it looks timid. And I was like, that was different for me. And I recognized it in myself. And this is, mind you, it always happens after you stop dealing with the person and completely cut them off. You're like, oh, damn. That ain't even me.
Do you think you recognize it like after they're gone and you're able to kind of pay more just attention to yourself?
I don't think it was on me when I was dealing with them.
Really?
I think that was the exchange. After we were dealing with each other, I think that's when that happened. And once I severed ties, not severed ties, because that's still my friend, but like once he was no longer an option as a suitor.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it kind of, God revealed it to me like, oh, this is anxiety that I've never had. This person's the first person to introduce this word and concept to me. And now I'm experiencing certain things that I'm a child of God. I don't have no fear.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not even in a boastful way. Just, I genuinely am not scared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't put myself in situations where I should be fearful.
Right.
So, as much as I can control. So, for me to be anxious, it's out of character for me.
Got you. I just wondered because I definitely agree with you as far as like you transferring energies with somebody and then you possibly carrying on like some of their traits. And I've had experiences, but it was still while I was dating the person. Mm-hmm. So that's why I asked you, do you think maybe you weren't aware that you had some of these traits?
It might have been. I just wasn't, I wasn't really around too many people around that time. This was pandemic time. So we were isolated anyway, so I wouldn't have known.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? I'm sure I know. But here's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You just have to find people that you're equally yoked with so that when you guys do transfer, what you're giving and what they're giving you, because I'm a receiver as a woman, what I'm receiving should be bountiful and plentiful so that when I reproduce it and multiply it, it's benefiting you because it's falling on your head. That's how it's supposed to go.
Right.
But, you know.
So before we dive into your dating story, how would you vet them now versus in the past?
I probably, I think they've been my friend.
First?
No, they were my friend first, but I think they would stay a friend.
Stay a friend this time. Got you.
Entertain the idea.
Got you.
I don't think so.
How do you feel about, so you say you won't entertain the idea. How do you move differently? Do you think you always need to be friends with a guy before y'all start dating?
No. I think friendly. Yeah. And a lot of the traits, like some of the things, okay, let me think on this. I think dating now, having someone that is a friend can be
I like that
okay.
I like that idea, actually.
What?
Just being friends first with somebody, because men and women are so much in a rush to get to the end goal. You end up getting with somebody that you don't really even know like that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's okay to not know what you want. And people rush into it because they're afraid. That's that attachment style, that we talk about in the app. Yeah. It's not, sometimes they're not able to be there fully in a relationship, but they really like the person and could see it. Yeah. And if you can't give that person everything, it's okay to be their friend.
Yeah.
And you can still like them, you can still cuddle, and you know what I'm saying? I'm not a big fan of fucking on them, but you know, do what you do. You feel me? But the reason I say not to fuck on them, because that's the energy exchange, number one. And it's like, it blurs the lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna give somebody a subjective, like, maybe the attitude that you might have after work or whatever, your friend can deal with it, or will know you, or will recognize it, that it's not personal, it's not an attack towards them.
Right.
But if you've only known them as a romantic partner, they may only see that side of you. You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
yeah, or they'll take it as a. That's why I say I like the concept of friends first, or even or people having like some type of like self-awareness about themselves. Because okay, for example, you having a bad day at work, it ain't got nothing to do with them. But majority of the time in romantic relationships, people will take it personal, and then what they'll try to do for the person maybe just want space, but they don't understand that, because they want to cuddle, or they want to be fucked on, or whatever the case may be. Versus if that's your friend, like you said, okay, they understand me and they know I need space. So that's why I was like, I actually like the concept
they'll not
of
take it like it won't be an attack on the ego.
yeah.
As a friend, if I don't answer your call, it doesn't attack your ego.
So now think of what you just said, where you said, well, they don't have to be friends first, because they don't. How could two people who's getting to know each other build that?
I think building a friendship, I think that's what I say. I think the friendliness has to be there. That playfulness still has to be there. That banter that you could have you could have that conversation. I thought I did it. You could have that conversation with your friend, or your person that you're dating. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is when you're dating somebody, you're putting on your best face.
Absolutely.
When you're friends, you want to give your most authentic self. You know what I'm saying?
Or you do.
You get your authentic self because you met them in a friendly way.
Right.
So when it's a pursuit, it's a different pursuit. So it's different versus changing lanes and progressing a relationship versus... Because how you know you want to be with me for life? Because what are we dating for? Just to fuck on?
No, you know I would hope not. You know what I'm saying?
Unless that's the case, then none of this is relevant.
Right.
If you're just doing this just to fuck on somebody, nothing I say don't matter. But if you are trying to find a partner, right, and you want a romantic partner, why would you not want to have that comfortability with them? Why would you want to know them outside of just how they handle you?
Right.
Because people handle their friends different than they handle their significant other.
And I feel like that's sad that people don't have enough courage to show their authentic self while they're dating. Yeah. Because then that's why I feel like friendship is important. And I feel like people I just feel like people focus too much on the different steps that you gave in the beginning.
I think people are caught up in lust. So, I mean, they be so horny. And it's like, I get it. But you like, the reason that you're so horny is because you have a lot of sexual energy, which is creation energy.
Right.
So you're not using it. That's why you're so horny all the time. Ain't nobody horny 24/7 that's busy.
Right. No,
they got stuff to do.
That's the truth.
Ooh. You can't. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's like on or off. So that's why I'm like, it depends on what's your goal. If you're trying to really be with somebody, then you're going to want to get to know them. You're going to ask them questions. It's going to be different situations. You're going to want that time.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be like, listen, once I choose, this is it. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the mindset and you ultimately want a monogamous marriage, and, you know, at the end of the day, there's a different vetting process.
Right.
It's just that simple. But if you're just looking to fuck on somebody, that conversation is different.
I think people get so confused on what the vetting process is because, kind of like you said, people will put on whatever mask they need to be liked, to not feel rejected, or whatever the case may be. So when you think about being monogamous relationship, because majority of us want that, what do you think your vetting process will look like now? Or is that something you're still working on?
I don't think my vetting process is something I'm working on, because honestly, the characteristics of the men that I've dated has been
Top
well,
tier.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as them knowing how to handle me and the things that I need, it's like you got check everything in life. You got it. You got it going. But when it comes to that's where you fall off. And
Gotcha.
unfortunately, like for me, a lot of some, and I've noticed this in the South. Sometimes men don't look at women as people.
They don't.
And
A
it's
lot of them
weird.
don't. Because they don't know them. That's why I think the
They
problem.
don't have an intimate relationship with their mom. They be having issues with their mom.
That too. It really do come
Because
from
you don't
that.
understand a woman outside of lust. You don't understand a woman outside of what she can do for you.
Right.
You don't understand that what you. Oh, and it's not even. I'm not even gonna say all women, because there are some women. This is where the term "hoe" came from. Hole. It's like a black hole. Like you put into it and nothing is produced out of
Right.
it. So it sucks everything out. That's where you get whole from. But if you're dealing with a woman, you're going to get back something. And if you're mad about what you're getting back, think about what you're putting in.
Right.
Just think about that first. And a lot of times, that ego is going to stop you from doing that. And sometimes when you're in a relationship, love will offer you the freedom to look past your ego.
It does.
But if you're not there, you're not mature there, emotionally there, you know, you're gonna automatically oppose like anything. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna always have an opposition.
So, and you might not even be looking now, but like you said, you've dealt with pretty much top tier guys with great personalities, but they don't know how to exactly handle you, maybe due to mommy issues and maybe thoughts of patriarchy also popped up in my head. Just a whole bunch of different things. Do you have a vetting process in your own to see how somebody could handle you? Are there a question or two that you could think of when you probably getting to know a guy?
No.
Not yet.
I'm not gonna say not yet because it's still a vetting process, but it's not a question. It's more of like listening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna tell me what you want me to know, and the things that you don't tell me are even more telling.
Got you.
Now that I might ask you about, if I felt like we're comfortable enough. You know what I'm saying? So you're not when I'm vetting per se. One, I don't allow it to be on my understanding, because I've been fucking up. I'm not married, clearly. I can't go off of my understanding. It got to be God's. Like, I can't make the decision, but I definitely, it has to be like certain attributes that are just like gotta have.
Got you.
Like you gotta be a man of your word. You have to be progressive in whatever you're doing, and I mean strategically. Like, I don't care if you a janitor. What's the next step?
Yeah.
You have to have vision beyond you and your circumstance, because you're not going to stifle mine because you can't see.
That's a good one.
That's going to be an argument every time.
Yeah.
It's not going to be tangible. What I have going on is sometimes not tangible. And what you have going on is sometimes not tangible because it's being worked out already.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have your hands sometimes in things. But I like my man to be busy, but accessible. Like, I don't mind a 9-to-5 man. I prefer a man that works for himself, though. Only because I know his mindset is different.
And probably more aligned to yours.
Right. He's not a fan of the system set up, you know what I'm saying? But he also knows how to work it and maintain and sustain a household.
Got you.
Those are not two separate coins. Those same side,
Yeah.
I mean, one side of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One coin, two
That's the
different
same
sides.
side.
Because, you can have a liberated mindset and understand, like, what we need to do to be progressive as a people and, as a community and grow and everything. And if you do work under somebody, that's fine. Are you contributing are you doing God's work? Are you contributing to the world? Or are you just getting enough money to by your things to appease you, to make you forget you're a slave. I
Yeah.
don't want to deal with that. Cause you ain't gonna do nothing but have an attitude with me.
Mm.
Cause you mad cause you don't like this job or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with being in that space at that time. But what is the plan?
I feel that.
And I mean, that plan has to be executed daily, consistently. I can't see a slip. Because once I do, then I know, because that's not even in a man's nature. Man's nature is to be consistent.
Yeah.
So if I see you slipping, I know you bullshitting.
Mm.
Like if you're not, like, not saying a return on what you're doing, but it's consistent what you're doing. And honestly, yes, a return on what you're doing. Because a man is not going to do something that doesn't garner a result.
Got
A
you.
real man.
So just being consistent in your plans for the future and what you say you're going to do from wherever level you at. How do you hold boundaries for yourself to keep those boundaries? Because I feel like women will have certain boundaries and then they'll fall off those boundaries or settle or whatever the case may be. How do you...
give me the ick quick, though.
Mm.
Like...
They give you the ick and then you follow the ick because a lot of people, they'll get the ick. They'll do that and then they'll give the guy an opportunity.
No! See, no, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I'm seeing all of that before you even an option. Like, I feel like I'm a quick read. So, I'm gonna figure that out, like, within the first couple of days or weeks, like, all right, that's not it. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, though, because something else you just kind of triggered another question. So, expectations, right? Mm-hmm. I know, like, you have a certain mindset. You meet somebody, depending on certain things, they may have a certain mindset. We're born in different places. We have different upbringings, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. You might expect a guy to do something, and maybe he's willing to live up to that, but he just don't know. Do you ever have conversations, or is it automatically a...
Yes.
Okay.
I've had that. I'll simply ask. Like, for instance, we're both in the car, and we go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, I'm riding with you. Normally, I meet people, but say I'm riding with you. Mm-hmm. And you get out the car, and you're still standing there because you're wondering, where am I at? I'm sitting in the car. I'm waiting for you.
Okay.
And you wonder, I mean, I'm not, like, sometimes you gotta go. It ain't gonna happen every time. Like, I'm not tripping off of that.
Yeah.
But if you're courting me, you're trying, because you should be trying to impress, like, a woman when you're dating her.
Yeah.
Unless you're just trying to fuck on her. But if you're trying to find a partner, then you as a man will be selective in who you're choosing to spend your time and money on. So it would be no problem to give her the utmost treatment.
Right.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
But if you got 8, 3 to 4, I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. So, but, so I was just like, if let's say he'd be like, what you doing? At some point, he's going to open that door and ask me what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I thought you were going to open my door. Or, I'm just, I would hope that you open my door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's not, I wouldn't say that'd be a good example. Maybe let's say we go somewhere. I wouldn't even date a guy like that, though. Like, if you don't, like, opening doors is like, that's like...
There's so many men who don't have, what's the word, chivalry anymore, though.
You wouldn't get the time of day. And that's where the women mess up. That's on the women.
Yeah.
Because they're selling. They're like, okay, whatever I could get out of this situation from this man. Girl, if you're going to use him, at least teach him something. Yeah. So that he don't have to run into another you. But you trying to fuck on him so you can get all his pockets. That's be what's going on.
Or is that, or it be women who desperately want to be with a man and they'll take treatment of a guy not opening the door, or
I don't understand that. Because even if you are desperate for a man, I feel like you're desperate for the things that a man can do for you. So why would you? I mean, I know it happens, but I don't.
A lot of people don't want to be alone. So our brains are wired, as you know, for connection, right? And I think some people just they cling on to that, they hold on to that, and due to society norms, of women needing to be with a man, building families. Even if they're trying to steer away from that, it's still embedded in us subconsciously, and we really have to push away from that. And I think a lot of women, they settle.
Yeah, I honestly think that's a regional thing. Because in Jersey, it's not. I don't feel like it's like that.
Tell me the difference between Jersey and Atlanta when you think on that. Because you
I've
could be
seen
right.
more masculine women from up north because of the men either being absent, all the problems and systematic racism and everything. But outside of that, not knowing how to assert themselves, being beat down so much. Because it's systematic racism up north. Like, it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not in your face. It's structure. It's glass ceilings.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And back doors. So, and labeling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, charges and stuff. So when you are dealing with that, and then you have like the women, she ends up having to be like more masculine or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's gonna pull a different energy out of her in a relationship. She's gonna feel like she's always been taking control. So what's the difference?
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Versus like out here, I feel like okay, and also up north, the whole "we don't need a man" thing. That's up north. That's an up north culture.
That shit is down here too, though. Unless it
down here,
because okay,
that's not how it was. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not like Southern. When you think of Southern women, you think of catering women. You don't. When you think of up north women, you think of more aggressive women. There's a reason for that. So I feel like the women are more bred up north to sustain the household. You know what I'm saying? The whole Section 8 thing, keep the man out the house. Like,
yeah,
they are the head of the household. Versus out here, the men still make the moves before more so than the women.
I even think that's a regional thing, even within the South, because like I said, I'm from Florida originally, and I stayed, like I said, in the good neighborhoods. Yes, the men were there, they made moves, they provided, but then even in the hoods and stuff like that, women even had to take on basically their masculine energy and carry that out. So for a lot of women, because they're in their masculine, they don't worry about a man holding the door. They don't even like what is that? What is that?
Right. Okay. So, right, you're right.
Okay.
There's two sides of that.
Yeah.
So you have the women that have completely lost faith in having a man being the head of the household.
Yeah.
Then you have the women who can't be the head of the household. So they will take what they can get.
That's true.
Because if they don't take somebody or accept somebody, they're gonna be on the street. They're gonna be fucked up.
Yeah, there are a lot of women in that predicament.
And that's not something that I had seen. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I feel like it's regional. I didn't see any women like being like, oh, I can't do it. Let me find a man temporarily, long term or whatever. That wasn't an option. Down here it is.
Yeah.
They get pregnant.
Yeah.
And I never seen that before. I mean, they do that everywhere.
But I get what you're saying.
I've never seen it before as a weaponized. In a relationship. But I mean, they do that everywhere. So that's not regional. But as far as like the more,
I get what you're saying. I think you might be onto something there as far as that attitude coming from the north and then it kind of trickling down. You might be onto something there.
And all this migrations down here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The people that are from here, their grandparents, the man is running the stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my grandparents, they had, even though they divorced after like 30 years, they were still very close. And there was a respect there. You know what I'm saying? But it was after the children.
Yeah.
So before the children, I don't know what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? And up north, it was like my grandma was trying to do her own thing and hooked up with my grandpa.
Gotcha.
Versus she wasn't doing anything and then like she got with him and then he was the one that was heading. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It wasn't a a default type of situation. And I see that sometimes where I feel like some women are just like, I mean, it's nothing wrong. I feel like when you do get pregnant or when you have a child, hands off. That's your job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's also on you as a woman to vet, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, okay, can I be hands off? Can he sustain this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those type of questions, that's part of my vetting process for sure. That's why I don't have no kids now.
I'm smart girl.
I'm
That's smart.
listening. I've been listening.
That's smart.
They be like, wait. I'm gonna wait till I find my right mate.
That's
And
smart.
I don't. Everybody talking about fertility and all this. First of all, y'all know I'm black, right? Like y'all know I'm black. This could happen at any time.
Yeah.
You heard about Sarah? It was, you know what I'm saying?
Janet Jackson?
No, I'm talking about in the Bible.
Oh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all heard
yeah.
about Sarah? Like, don't play with me. I don't need nobody to try to give me no timeline. I feel like I was bred to make a child with my husband. That's me.
And that's beautiful.
And I just don't want anything short of that. Even if, whether I have a husband, don't have a husband, I feel like for me to create a child, I would like it. That's my goal, to be with my husband. Because I want to raise my child with my husband. That's just me. That's just my preference. And I'm sure it is for a lot of people. But I also know people, and this blows my mind, that choose, they be like, oh, I would never marry that person, but they'll be a good mother to my child. That's crazy to me.
That is crazy.
It is, right? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not tripping.
No.
I think it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Because you'll choose to spend, because you're still spending life. Like, you get that, right?
With this person.
Like, you get that, right?
So I wonder, is it a genetic thing? I'm wondering with something, because I've never heard a man like directly say that. But I'm wondering, is it like a genetic thing on why they think this woman would be good to have a child with?
I don't know. I haven't gotten the answer. But but you know, cause the question it'll be like, oh, yeah, my baby mama, blah blah blah. Why aren't y'all together? Oh, I would never. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
These men, it's crazy.
What's your vetting process?
They don't
have none.
They don't have none.
Because you're trying to fuck on. And you feel like because you're in a financial state or whatever, or you're of a certain age that, listen, I feel like things happen.
Yeah.
But when you plan to do stuff, I feel like the child suffers.
The child,
because at the end of the day, it's better for the child to have the man and the woman in the home.
I agree with that.
Even if y'all co-parent really, really well, I feel like the most ideal situation would be under the covering of marriage. So, yeah. But that's a traditional thing, because at the same time, you can have a poly situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a super supporter of poly situations.
I'm supportive of poly too, because I really like their communication dynamics and how open they are, and I feel like monogamous relationships could at least take that in more.
Right.
Especially that part.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what's the goal?
Yeah.
Because if you're just trying to fuck on something, you know what I'm saying? We don't even be talking about no poly. Because that means you
just using poly to fuck on people.
That means your magnet can be attracted to any, you know what I'm saying? Like, that means you don't have a vetting process to me. Because if it's based off of lust and attraction, that's enough to get in your pants, sir. That's enough. It's a lot. I got a lot of pretty friends. Damn, we don't have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever dealt with somebody like that, and was it for longer than what you would have wanted it to be?
I have.
It's okay.
I've dealt with somebody, and I had a poly situation. It was okay.
Okay.
Until I think, I'm a believer in rank. Like,
got you.
Like, you don't get to give somebody that just came around a month ago the same privilege and access as somebody that's been there for years. That's when you're gonna have a problem. You know
And
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and there's a lot of Like I know a guy who's poly. He's married, and he would date, and his wife would date, and they've been together since they were teenagers, but they're divorcing now because of
That's
that
different. You
same.
said the word you used was date, though. That's different.
Yeah, they dated different people, but
That's not what I'm talking about.
well, dated, but he was given the same people that he was dating. Now, mind you, they were married. So he and then he found a girlfriend in the mix of that. So you're giving these people more attention, more attention than your wife like.
That's the problem.
That's a problem. That's what I mean. It seems like, I don't know, you find some that work out for a long time and then some you don't. But I know one thing I've learned about relationships, dating. I don't know if everybody agrees with this. I feel like it's a big ego thing with dating and relationships, and sometimes you do gotta learn when it's time to let that person go, or when y'all go on different paths.
I feel like you could choose your lifer, but you're for lifer.
Yeah.
And my thing is, this is the issue I would have with that situation. That's why I feel like I don't know these people, but this is why I feel like they divorcing. They're dating. That means you're looking. If I'm in a poly situation, I'm not looking.
It's just supposed to happen, right?
Right. And
that's what I thought too.
My friend is your friend, and it's mutual for us to have this person in our life. Not just me, not just you. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's so simple. But if you're trying to fuck on, I'm gonna keep going back to that. Yeah. If you're trying to fuck on, you're gonna have a different conversation. You're gonna have a different motive. But at the end of the day, if you're in a poly situation and you're doing your best with the person that you're dealing with, right? Yeah. You're fully invested. You're doing the work to make this relationship successful. Right. And you happen to meet someone who adds to both of your lives. Because at no point do you have a friend outside of me once we're married. That's our friend. Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
What do you need a friend for outside of me? I'm your friend. I'm your best friend. I should be. Yeah. You chose to do this for life. I'm not your best friend.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mm-hmm.
So anybody that's friendly to me should be friend to you. Right. Because if not, if they're not my friend, but they're my husband's friend, that's my foe. That don't make sense. Why would you not want to be my friend? If you love my husband, don't you love me? I'm
right, because right. That part.
That's crazy.
That part.
Anything other than that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, it's levels to it.
Right. So in your particular situation, how did you break that off? Because you said, you've been with this person for a long time, and then somebody's coming around a month or so, and he's trying to give them that same treatment. What ended up happening to where you was just like, okay, I can't do this anymore?
The girl got pregnant. I fizzled away. Oh. You know what I'm saying? It's boundaries. It's levels.
Right. Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? We're still cool, like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I know that your craving or your lack of holding it in, whatever, I don't even know how to express it. But whatever it was more important than what we were building. Because you allow somebody to create a space. When you're in a poly situation, you don't have to create a space because it's a void that's needing to be filled and that person's gonna come in. Like if it's real, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
I feel like if you have to create space, you have to create time, you gotta focus on what you got going on right here. If this ain't damn near perfect, and sometimes just the idea of the option is enough.
That too.
It may not. I've seen.
It may not even.
They don't never. They
don't never step out. It's
but
just
they know they could.
Right.
But they don't ever see a reason to because they're pouring into the relationship they're currently in. Mm-hmm. If you pour everything you in this relationship here, you don't have time to go out searching for nobody else because you're cultivating that relationship with your partner. Right. Anything else is bullshit. It's lust. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you don't have that distinction, then you definitely don't need to be doing no poly stuff. If you can't make that distinction, you need to chill out.
There's a lot of them who don't make that distinction, and then they'll say that they're poly. Mm-hmm. So so is it just open relationship, open free for all? Like
they're just fucking on each other.
She gonna say that word to the end of time, y'all. I'm gonna ask you these Okay,
Yeah.
okay. My first question for you. What do you need to improve, learn, or stop doing to be successful in a
Oh
relationship?
God.
Girl, you're on the spot. You hear me?
Okay, what I need to do. I need to be more clear about what I want. I think in the beginning, and not fear a pushback, or not a pushback. I don't ever get a pushback, but not fear a pullback from the guy
Got
because
you.
fearing that he might be afraid of commitment. Fuck that. I don't care
Yeah, I've definitely, gotten to that point too. A lot
because
of
it don't
people,
matter. I ain't
it
the
don't.
one.
That's it. That's it. Okay. How important is your family and friends' opinion of the person you're dating?
Uh, mm, if I had to give it a number, I'd say a 7
Why a 7?
because I trust myself and my decisions, and a lot of my family is very critical.
Yeah.
So if like the dude, the guy, I wasn't even dating him, but he was afraid. But he came and he was helping me. He was coming to like a cookout,
Yeah.
but I had stuff I had to move around, and I had to ask him to help. And that was the issue because why the fuck I have to ask you? What are you doing? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You just came to eat. You feel me?
I
But
feel you.
I caught that.
Yeah.
So if I didn't catch it and they mentioned it, it would weigh heavy.
Got you.
But if but if they said, oh, he always wears blue, or some stupid,
You don't pay no
that'll
attention.
certain things don't bother me. You know
Got
what
you.
I'm saying? Because sometimes how women and family can be. They'll be thinking like for what's best for you, but subconsciously it's a little bit about who they would date. And like we don't have the same
That's what
type.
it is. Right.
I don't care about that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you care about that. So that's what I say. It weighs, but it ain't
It
the
ain't.
end all be all.
Got you. What is something you have tolerated in the past that you won't tolerate anymore?
Inconsistency.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, you slip a day, it's a wrap. Because what are you doing?
I feel that. Okay. How do you show up in order for someone to feel safe enough and be vulnerable with you?
It's probably not the best thing, but I offer vulnerability in myself. I'm a pretty open person,
That's the best way
so
to be.
I can often say something and then it'll offer the space for them to be like, oh yeah, well this da 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 da. You know what I'm saying?
That's the best way to be. I feel like people are not vulnerable enough, and that's why they run into the traps that they do. And I think that even shows, like you said, you dated like friends, you've gotten close to
Yeah.
like friends because you're not afraid of that. And I
Yeah,
think,
I'm like that. Like I'll fall trip. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I talk. Like I'm not. I don't have a representative.
yeah,
That's the thing.
that's a superpower.
Yeah, I think so.
It
I
is.
don't have one.
That's a
I can
superpower.
act, but I don't have a representative. This is me.
Yeah.
Every day, all day,
That's
in
good.
all settings.
All right. While in a relationship or dating someone, what is a good reason not to give up?
An argument.
Not to give up?
Like I said, I'm from Jersey.
Yeah.
We have knockdown dragouts
Okay.
without being disrespectful. Some people don't have those communication skills. Some people
Gotcha.
don't have those problem solving and comprehension skills. I talk fast. You get in an argument with me, you better be. All right, nigga, tell me one time. Slow down. Can you slow down?
I think I probably would be on.
Like, no, I'm not slowing down. You know why? Because I'm speaking from the heart.
Yeah.
And having a pure, I'm not just like, I'm just like, no. But like, if you have a pure intention in heart,
Yeah.
there's no filter. I don't have to think about what I'm about to say. Because it's real. It's truth. You need time in between what I'm telling you because you're trying to figure out how to get around
Maneuver.
what the fuck I'm saying, but I'm telling you straight truth, and there's no chaser needed.
Okay. When making a decision on choosing a partner, one must consider blank than blank.
One more time.
When making a decision on choosing a partner, one must consider blank than blank. So maybe something people often consider, but you think of something better.
Okay. Money versus drive.
That's a good one. Tell me why for you.
Because somebody can have money, and it could be you might have met them in their harvest season. But what does that drive look like? 10 years from now, what does that look like? 5 years ago, what did it look like? And
Gotcha.
if somebody's drive is there, just like, you may not see the fruit, but you can see the drive. You can see what somebody's planting. And you may not meet that person at harvest season. So they might not have the money. But that drive, you see them out there planting, fertilizing, doing what they need to do, that's more important. Because that's going to garner a forest or a farm that's, you know what I'm saying, keep
Got
going.
you. You just answered the question, but I want to break it down a little bit more because I feel like there's a lot of women who confuse potential with a man who's actually like planting. How would you be able to tell the difference?
I can see it in like, okay, so it would produce something. Even if not monetary, it would produce something.
Or well, even if it's not producing, because I know women will get trapped. Like, say a man says he wants to do this, 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 and this, and they see the potential, and then they get in the builder mode with him. So, would you take yourself out of the equation in the beginning?
I done with that.
Yeah, I mean, would you take yourself out of the equation in the beginning now that you're older, or what would you say on that?
I would say if you have insight as a woman to offer, give it.
Yeah.
Give information. I'm not a hoarder or gatekeeper of information. That's never been my thing. But I think you have to recognize. I will put myself in their shoes.
Okay.
If I had the resources, access, and knowledge that they have, what would I do? Would I be in the same, you know what I'm saying? Would I be far ahead? That's how you kind of know if you're equally yoked too. And I think that's a good way to see if it's glitter bullshit, if it's glitter poop, or if it's really that diamond that you're looking for.
Got
you. Know
you.
What I'm saying?
Now, I think there's a difference between verbally giving information, but then actually getting down and building with them, and then you look over and then you see them not doing what they say.
I
So
think it's easy to get out of that. You ask for a percentage.
You ask for a percentage, or
you give a specific. No, I'm gonna tell you like this because I'm a consultant. I'm a business consultant. So I meet men that be like, I don't really meet a lot of men that are in startup mode.
Okay.
But if I did, right?
Yeah.
Or he's trying to progress, or he's trying to, whatever. Okay, this is specifically what I can do for you. This is the time frame I can do it in. This is what I would charge. Whether you charge or not, I could waive this for you. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? That's y'all. If he doesn't tell you to do those things, or doesn't have a plan for what happens after you do those things, that's how you know. Bullshit.
Got you. Last question. Who trust have you broken and how have you healed since then? Who trust have you broken and how have you healed since then?
Whose trust have I broken? I'm really trying to think.
It could be even as far as, I think I use this example all the time on my podcast, but even when you get to the point where you decided to set certain boundaries for yourself, and maybe people have trusted you to say yes, but you knew deep down there was times where you wanted to say no, or you needed to cut this person off, or you needed to.
That's what I was really thinking about. I have it was a friend of mine that I actually went to high school with, and moved up here, and so we 10, 15 years in the game at a couple of years, like a year or two ago, and now he's like, it was somebody who I thought would be a friend for life, and I think he felt betrayed in me severing that.
Okay.
He put his hands on me.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't play that.
Yeah.
For one time, it was a fight. Clearly, you ain't just you just gonna push your hands on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a fight. I'm gonna put it like that. We got in a fight. And I cut him off that day.
Yeah.
After 10 plus years knowing somebody. And I don't cut people off.
Yeah.
Because first of all, I don't allow you to get close enough to damage me to where I need to cut you off. Like maybe that's a toxic thing or whatever, but I just don't make myself vulnerable in that sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think that's toxic at all.
I don't give nobody there's nothing that could break me. But I don't give anybody any tools to even try.
Right.
So for me, when that happened, because we had gotten into arguments before, cuss. I ain't never cussed somebody out so bad. I ain't never been cussed out so bad.
That might be a little toxic, but
we were toxic, honey. We were Flint, Michigan. Okay,
got you.
we
Oh
were
my God.
toxic.
Got you.
I'm sorry, but you know what I'm saying? That's just what I heard. I don't know, but we were toxic for sure, and I was like pulling away. You know what I'm saying? It was that whole. I didn't know I was being fucked on. I thought we were building towards, like, honestly, marriage. But I was young. Like, I didn't know it don't take years to figure that out. I didn't know. Especially when he's telling you different. You know what I'm saying? You know, grandma and everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could literally drive to grandma's house and it would, like, pop up and wouldn't be no problem. You think it's going somewhere.
Going somewhere, right.
So, especially after all that years of history. So, when I was like, nah, I want to cut it off, that was the first betrayal that he felt, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then he did something disrespectful and, we got into it. When I cut him off, I think that was the first betrayal, right?
Yeah.
Second was recently, I hadn't talked to that man like 3 years, called me, and I felt the first betrayal was both his parents passed. And I knew them.
Yeah.
I felt betrayal towards him because I didn't reach out. I didn't do anything. Because, one, I was advised not to because I asked some of my close people because I didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Because I would want somebody to reach out to me regardless of what we had going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was advised strongly not to, that it was dangerous. Because there was a substance abuse issue involved on his end. So I didn't, I didn't know how to handle it. And I thought I blocked him. You know how, I don't know, Google, iPhone be playing. Because I swore I
had the same situation.
And this man called me. I said, hello? I know damn well. So, you know what I'm saying? We talked and, I guess he doesn't hold any animosity towards me. You know what I'm saying? But I that does kind of bother me because, like, I'd be like, honestly, I was thinking about it, like, should I reach out and express my condolences? Like, but I also don't want to reopen the wound. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like it's a possibility the wound would reopen if you would reach out and express condolences?
I mean, when I say wound, I'm talking about like his parents passing.
Oh, how long ago did they pass?
It was like within the last 2 years.
Do you see him in your future today in any type of way, form, or capacity? Do you want to rehatch that friendship? That's probably the first question.
I miss the old friendship. I can't handle any of the drama.
That's probably your answer right there.
I literally can't handle it. I'll flip out. Everybody getting slapped. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not even being funny like everybody gets slapped. I'm not a violent person. I've been literally in 2 fights in my life. And one was not even mine. It wasn't even my fault. And the other one, the girl was just taking advantage of me. But I'm not. I wouldn't even know how to handle it. I don't want to risk the fact that I give people a clean slate. I don't want that to ever be an issue for me. I can handle each person as they come by themselves, regardless of who they remind me of, act like, look like. But if I let him back in, I feel like that can kind of create some confusion for me because I'm gonna give him a clean slate, and
Yeah.
he doesn't deserve a clean slate.
So
That makes
how?
sense.
Yeah. So how are you healing from this?
Mm-mm.
So
I
you're
just
still.
healed just now because I was going through. I was really was debating like, should I reach out? And I think a text is fine. That's why I'm a fan of text now because of that. Because I'm a call person. And matter of fact, don't even call me. Call me to meet up.
And I know you
So,
said you were about reopening a wound for him in relationships in the past. Have you always been the type to focus on other people's feelings before your own? Were you ever
mm-hmm,
like that?
mm-hmm,
Did that get you in a lot of trouble too?
mm-hmm. Because then I'll be wanting to go off and they don't understand why. It's been
Yeah.
cool for the last 6 months. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's why I said one of the things I want to work on is being more upfront about what I want,
Got you. So
like straight up.
do you really want to send that text?
Damn.
Do you really want to send that text? I mean, I don't
I
know.
don't, but I feel like I should because I don't want it to come up again
How would it come up again?
for me. Cause you
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Like I want to be done with it. Like I want to completely like I don't want to feel. I feel guilty about not reaching out specifically for that.
Let's do some layers though. Why does that make you feel guilty? Besides you saying I
Because
would
I
want
would want
somebody besides
that's.
that. Because he ain't you.
I feel that I was his friend. I knew them, and that's something that a friend would do.
Are y'all friends? Y'all haven't talked in 3 years except for that one time. How did he make you feel
No,
that
but he's
day?
not an enemy.
He don't have to be an enemy. How did he make you feel that day when you blocked him? You didn't have to go into detail about it, but
Oh
how did
wow.
he make you feel that day?
A little liberated. Kind of like okay, that because I had no other drama outside of that. That was my drama.
Hmm. You say you don't want to go back to that.
Mm-mm.
I think it's okay to reach out and tell them that, but as long as because you deciding that you don't want that in your life, as long as you let it be that. And this is not saying for you, but I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, his parents passed," and they'll reach out and they'll
But
send
it's
their
hard because I
condolences.
would be in his car and we'd be riding out to the sunset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
One call, it can
yeah,
happen
you
like
get what I'm
that.
saying?
He lives too close. Like I'm surprised I ain't seen him at Walmart or something. I'm
Mm.
I've been I thank God that ain't happening because
See,
I'm getting kidnapped that day. And it
mm.
might be willingly. That's why
So
I
did,
was reluctant.
yeah, so
Because
it's
we genuinely have fun.
yeah, yeah. So it sounds like you still have ties with him.
I don't cut people off. That'd be my problem.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you cut him off besides that one time. So you did pretty good.
I think I
I think you
did
did amazing. But I think
too.
it's just the fact of do you want to is it going to rehatch? And if you leave it it's like how do you leave it there? You extend condolences to him about losing his parents and then it just ends right there. Does it really end right there?
That's what I'm saying. I know with him, let me tell you, I don't have no problem reaching out to him because I'm glad we talked about this because I be forgetting. The man never apologized.
Maybe you can maybe so would you
I
try
don't
to
want
seek
to. I
closure?
mean, he can give me an apology, but I'm not looking for that. You see what I'm
Do
saying?
you want any closure from that?
No, I specifically dealing with his parents. I don't really care about because he chose to do that. He chose to disrespect me. He
Yeah.
chose to put his hands on me. That was a choice. And apparently, I had been spared all these years because he had been doing that to his girlfriends. I didn't know that. You see what
Wow.
I'm saying? So that's not even the type of man I really want to be associated with anyway.
And you can hold firm onto all of that
Right.
while giving condolences.
Right. But of course, have their memories and things of. So that's why I have to just keep that in the front of my mind. The man never apologized. There's no remorse for him putting his hand on you. Why would he do it again? Or either he feels justified to do it in the first place. That's even worse.
Yeah.
We definitely ain't friends because we don't even think alike.
I had a similar situation.
Really?
This guy violated me really bad. and his mom was going through cancer and was on her deathbed. And when I did cut him off, I was getting texts and calls from these numbers, and he was trying to make me feel bad. But one thing his mom said, because I talked to her about what happened, she asked me not to. She basically asked me not to separate myself from her. You separate yourself from him, but don't separate from me. And mind you, she was dying, and I battled with this myself because she specifically asked me. And I was the type to always put other people before me. But with her, she didn't have a cell phone. She had a house phone. He was living with her. There was just no way. So as bad as I felt, I had to choose me. So I never contacted anybody after that and just moved on with my life. So
it's hard.
It's
so hard.
It was hard because I had a relationship
with her.
I
right.
did. Like
completely separate.
Right. So I don't know. So, and then with his parents, I sound so cold with my thought, but with them being gone, what would it do for you to, I guess, like, hey, I'm sorry, when he never apologized to you? You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's a lot to think about because I feel like doors could open because sometimes we'll have that nostalgia of all the good times, even with the bad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and then,
so the only reason I gave him the benefit of the doubt is because substance abuse was involved. So that he might not have a clear view of my version of what happened.
Got you.
Because sometimes people, that often and almost always, they skew stuff when they're inebriated.
Yeah.
So he may, because he was inebriated when I kicked him out. He wasn't even going to leave when I had to throw his stuff out.
Wow.
And he was like, I'll buy another one. I said, hey, get out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, he might not have even comprehended how bad it was.
Got you. And you didn't talk to him about it after?
I didn't talk to him at all.
After the fact.
Right. So that's why I was like, because he was like, yeah, I haven't heard from you in a while. And I'm like, nigga, you remember what happened, right? Yeah, but we got into. So you don't get how serious it was.
But then again, so he don't understand how serious it is, and then you know what you looking for in a person. But then even as a friend, right? Mm-hmm. You say y'all become friends. He was drunk. I mean, people change. I will say that because maybe he's changed.
Right.
But drunk and then putting hands on you, knowing that and how small you are too at that.
Come on.
You small.
The man is 6'2".
Yeah, you small.
And over 200 pounds.
Yeah, you small.
I'm 5 foot nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, you small. So yeah, that's why I said I would really think on it. Just make sure. I think just making sure that for you, make sure that I just want to tell him condolences. I know I'm kind of late, but condolences. And then could it really just be that? Unless you want to see.
Yes, because I can block him right after. But I had a problem because I really did have a problem with this man because I was blocking him and I learned the man never by heart. I said, God damn it. I deleted and everything.
I've been there too.
Yeah.
I've been there too. I get it.
But his number has 666 in it. I should have known. Right.
That's
crazy. I should have fucking known.
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy.
He fucked up for years.
Let me ask you this. Just with everything that you have been through, like within dating and relationships, what would you say is the hardest lesson you've learned?
That not everybody is dating for marriage.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I thought that's what everybody was doing. Then I found out. I was like, oh, that's why it looks different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you maneuver? Do I need to move upstate? Because is this an upstate thing?
I don't know. This is a me thing.
Okay, because I'm like...
I can't tell you.
Okay.
Because I didn't live up north as an adult.
Okay.
I did. I lived in New York, but I had a boyfriend.
Got you. Okay.
And everything, honestly, we were living that real struggle of.
Got you.
And then he snapped on me. I said, hey, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. But let me get this spirit up off me. Because, bitch, I'm not about to fight every man because you're not just going to be hitting on me. But I'm not about to be fighting.
Yeah,
I don't fight women. The hell I look like fighting you? Get out of here.
Yeah,
So yeah, but I mean, I don't think it's a regional thing. I really think it's a me thing. I just think I'm odd.
Not at all. I just know.
Everybody want to fuck on. I'm not
Yeah.
on that.
Got you. Okay. So how are you maneuvering now?
I'm doing me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even dating for a purpose right now.
Okay.
But I'm also like not really trying to, I'm kind of just letting God make things happen. I'm focused on my career. Um, I have people that I'm getting to know, you know, and I think that right now, if I was to deal with somebody, he has to be very secure. Like, I'm not a jealous person at all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm damn near like, I be having fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. But it's about respect. Like, I can have as much fun as you allow me because of the boundaries that you set as my partner or
Right.
the man in my life. So, like, if, we all out, we having fun, and somebody dancing on him, that doesn't bother me. One song. You feel me?
That's the limit.
No
Okay.
hands.
Got it. Okay.
Do you think?
Okay.
But if you getting, it's just a respect level. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to say that because niggas don't know. They want to take a mile. Yo, she said I could do
They
this.
do.
No, I didn't. Like, why you got to take it all the way to the ass? Like, chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you wouldn't want me to do, don't do it. It's not hard. So, I'm just kind of seeing what's out there, waiting for my husband. But I know that it shouldn't take him too long. Once we meet, or if we have met, you should know.
Got you. Okay. Now, where can the audience find you?
On all social media platforms, your favorite fruit snack.
I love it. I want to thank you so much, Kiwii, for coming on.
I'm glad I came. This is the type of podcast that a thinking mind likes to be on, because not only, like, you asked me questions that I was already pondering and needed to dig deeper into. Sometimes you need a good think partner. You know what I mean? And a lot of these podcasts, they just kind of they ask questions, and they have social norms based off of people trying to fuck on each other.
Yeah.
And that's fine and dandy, but that's not always the goal for everybody. So I think the conversations do need to be open for people on different levels, whether they want to casually date, they want to be friends to dating, they want to actually date, they want to date for marriage, they want to be poly, whatever. But there's real conversations that need to be had, and that's why this is the shiz night. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Thank you so much. And you touched on all of that stuff in this episode. So thank you for that. And until next time, everybody.